Hello everyone, my name is LIAT ROGEL and this is Social Innovation for IES Abroad Milan. Today we go into the heart of social innovation and we will explore the definition of social innovation and its process. Why are we talking about social innovation? Remember Hamilton from our last class? Hamilton suggested that we need to shift from thinking about innovation only in a technological and scientific innovation and think about cultural and social behaviors that we should change in order to be more sustainable. Let me give you an example. Think about traffic, one of the main problems of our cities today. We can create, by technology and science, the most technological, ecological car, but we will still be having traffic if every family will continue to own 1 or 2 cars. So we need to think about the way we behave and rethink about how we move from point A to point B. Manzini is also talking about this shift. He is saying that in order to reach sustainability and keep our quality of life, we have to learn and live in a happy way while consuming much less. So Manzini is introducing us to one of the most difficult tasks of today. And what do we have to do when we encounter such complex problem? We need a new type of innovation that will allow us to live happily while consuming much less. And this is social innovation. Before we speak about social innovation, let's speak and see what is innovation. Of course, it is something new. But what is new? How can we innovate? And we look at this book by Tim Brown, Change by Design, where he explains 4 types of possible innovation. Tim Brown suggests 4 types of innovation that depend on offerings and users. Let's imagine that I am a company. I'm already producing and selling something to some users. And with my existing offering and my existing users, I can still innovate. I can manage what I have, creating small incremental innovations. We may think about an update for a software or a better version for my cell phone. You all know this kind of innovation. And the company has almost no risk in innovating while still selling us something new. If as a company I want to innovate a little bit more, then I can, for example, still sell something to my users, but extend my offering, offer something new. So if by now I sold to certain people a cell phone, now I can imagine that I produce an iPad. I have to change a little bit my offering. My type of innovation is evolutionary. I have a major risk, but still at least I know one part of the scheme. On the other hand, I can think that I offer what I already have, existing offerings, to a new kind of user and adapt my offering to this new user. So if I'm now selling cell phones for elderly people, I may want to simplify my product. So I'm not revolutioning my process of production, but I'm adapting my offering. Finally, if I want to make revolutionary innovation and I want to create something new, then I would go in a new era, producing something I never did before and offering it to people that I don't know. Of course, this area is very, very risky. But since in this course we are talking about wicked problem, complex problem, we will see how important it will be to go into the direction of revolutionary innovation. To speak about social innovation, definition and process, we will use this book, The Open Book of Social Innovation by Nesta and the Young Foundation, that is still one of the most complete books about the topic. The definition from these books says that social innovation are new ideas that both solve a social problem, answer to a social need, and they do that by creating collaboration and networking. In other words, they are good for us as a society and enhance the society capacity to act. I would like to introduce you other two definitions of social innovation that will allow us to understand several details that are helpful for us in this course. The second definitions add something important, which is the impact on society as a whole. What do we mean by that? We mean that social innovation is not only good for those people that use it, but also for the whole society. The third definition says something about where social innovation comes from. So we see social innovation coming from third sector, public administrations, but not only. And also, not everything that happens in the third sector and the public administration regarding social needs is necessarily innovative. So we will have to understand, case by case, what can we call social innovation and what not. Now that we have seen these three definitions of social innovation, we have the tools to understand when we look at a case of social innovation. And every time we will meet a case that seems like social innovation, we will have to ask ourselves these three things. The origin. Is the innovation really answering to a social need, to a real social need, education, health, immigration? Second thing we have to ask ourselves is the type of organization. In this innovation, do we see networks and collaboration? And the third thing is about the outcome. Is the outcome creating positive impact on the whole society, not only on the people that are using this innovation, but really to all of us? If we find all these three elements, we can define that the case that we are looking at is a case of social innovation. Let's see an example of social innovation. We talked before about the problem of traffic. Do you know carpooling? Carpooling is not really a new idea. People have been organizing carpooling when they have to go to the same working place or when they have to take the children to the same school. They organize themselves in the neighborhood and decide to share a car. Their behavior is helpful to reach a more sustainable way of mobility, because sharing the car means they use less and they don't think in terms of owning necessarily their own car to get to a certain point. Today we have technologies that allow us to network and connect with people all around the world. This allows me, in terms of carpooling, to connect with people and offer or share a ride with people who I don't even know. It creates a global network of people sharing the ride. So we are answering a social need, how to reduce traffic in the cities, and we create an impact in the city that goes beyond the people that use the service. And we do that by the collaboration and networking of people. So BlaBlaCar is a great example of social innovation because it answers the 3 points that we've seen, but it's also a good example of how we can create innovation both in a technological and scientific way and social and cultural. Social innovation is inside a larger concept of the social economy. What is the social economy? Social economy is based on distributed networks that are using new technology, exactly like we've seen now in BlaBlaCar, using the internet, using my mobile in order to connect and collaborate together. The second element of the social economy are blurred boundaries between consumption and production. So sometimes I will be the consumer and sometimes I will be the producer. For example, in BlaBlaCar, sometimes I will be the one who needs the ride and sometimes I will be the one offering the ride. And this is something typical for the social economy. The third point of the social economy are continuous interaction between the users. So it's not a kind of one-off use, but somewhere that I'm continuously returning to. If I use BlaBlaCar many times, I will be able to get myself reviews from people. The system will become more trustable. I will be able to know that I'm getting the best ride available and the service will develop. The last point of the social economy are strong values and missions. So in BlaBlaCar, I will always think about how to reduce traffic, even if in a certain point I'm thinking about the economical sustainability of the service. Now that we have seen the definition of social innovation and the context in which social innovation is, it is important to explore how social innovation happens. So, what are the steps needed in order to create good social innovation ideas? And we will look at the process exploring this scheme that allow us to understand in 6 phases the process of social innovation. Beginning from prompts and going through proposals, prototyping, sustaining, scaling, and finally systemic change. Let's see each of these steps together. First are prompts, inspiration and diagnosis, which means if I find myself in a time of crisis and I need to find new solutions, or maybe it's not a crisis, but I have a vision of how we can create a better world, I begin to collect data, to know where I am, to speak with people. And with this data that I'm collecting, that can go from numbers to testimonials of people, I can build maps, I can organize my knowledge. And when I organize my knowledge, I can understand it better. When I feel that I understand when I'm standing, I can come up with new ideas. Ideas proposals are usually made in a group, in collaboration with other people. We want to gain different perspectives, and we can use any kind of method that we like brainstorming, for example, where each of us comes up with many ideas, and then we collect them, we combine them until we find some ideas that for us are more successful. When we think an idea may be successful, we go to the prototyping phase. So we would like to test our ideas in a very early phase. This is quite important because if we go and develop our ideas ahead until we think they're ready, and then we discover that something is not working, we are spending too much time on definitions before we tested something. So prototyping is really crucial for social innovation. When we prototype and test the idea or part of the idea, we can go to sustain our ideas, make it feasible, create a business plan, understand who are the actors involved, and really make sure that it is sustainable from social, environmental, and economical point of view. Next, we can go to scaling. So when things are working and are sustainable, we can grow. We can make more of what we're making, or we can expand to other countries, and so on and so forth. Last part, systemic change. If social innovation is really successful, what we see is a change in the system. So things around us change, and also the connection between things changes. This is the end of this lesson. I leave you with some links to our readings and other interesting materials about social innovation. Together in classroom, we will do some exercises to see if you really can recognize cases of social innovation and also work better about the process. See you next time.